Our focus now, as we look at what's unfold in 2025, is more about the pace of institutional and wealth advisory adoption, which has showed, frankly, a lot of momentum.
O chefe de ativos digitais da BlackRock, Rob Mitnick, revelou exatamente o que espera para o próximo passo do Bitcoin em 2025, à medida que a BlackRock se envolve cada vez mais.
What's happened in 2025 in terms of, a little bit of a price correction is more about just things getting perhaps a little bit over exuberant. But what I can say is some of what we've seen lately seems to be self-fulfilling.
Crédito a Bloomberg Business, que conseguiu que ele respondesse as perguntas difíceis.
Educate me on this, Robbie. So, eager to hear your take. Trump authorizes this strategic Bitcoin reserve. Big question is still, is the U.S. government going to buy Bitcoin, right? What's your view on that? And can that be done in this kind of budget-neutral way that's been discussed?
O preço do Bitcoin agora é um ponto de entrada histórico, com todos os riscos anteriores eliminados. O preço está 20% mais barato, um desconto. Michael Saylor articulou isso sucintamente. O que a maioria das pessoas não entende aqui, acredite, a BlackRock entende.
This is kind of a historic entry point because all of the risk has been stripped off the asset. Like, you pretty much know Wall Street's going to embrace it, the U.S. government's going to embrace it, and banks in the U.S. going to embrace it, which means that all the other banks will embrace it. You already know all those things, and yet the market is really skittish based upon concerns about tariffs, the disposition of the U.S. economy, the interest rate forward graph. And so you see the interest rates have pulled in 30, 40, 50 basis points. And we're in this macro risk off zone. When that flips, I think Bitcoin will rip forward with a vengeance.
Então, a curto prazo, antes de chegarmos a BlackRock, a grande questão agora é a economia. Estamos em recessão? Trump se importa? E boas notícias, o fundo pode estar próximo. Fiquei surpreso com isso. O famoso especialista em mercado e investimentos, Edgar Denny, diz que acredita que o mercado está se recuperando.
We're asking ourselves as investors the question, does he care about the market? Does he not care? I thought he did. Well, maybe he doesn't. Are we going into a recession? I don't know. They haven't talked us out of it. Are they telegraphing us into one?
Yeah, it's pretty wild. I mean, you need a neck brace to deal with this environment, but all in all, it's kind of starting to feel to me like the market may be trying to bottom out here. Sentiment is extremely bearish, and typically when sentiment is this bearish, you make a bottom. But the reason you do that is that all the reasons for bearishness lead to a Fed put. And I think you mentioned that I might comment on the Fed here, and I think the Fed did in fact indicate that the Fed put is still very much available. It's on standby. The Fed said that, again, they're in no hurry to lower interest rates. They didn't say they're in no hurry to do anything. They didn't say they're in no hurry to raise rates. So I view their position as inherently dovish. They're looking to lower rates. And if we get into trouble, they'll do that. Maybe that will make the bottom. Maybe that'll be sometime in the spring. But meanwhile, my base case remains the same. I think the economy is going to prove to be remarkably resilient.
Kevin O'Leary, especialista em investimentos, diz que é assim que ele imagina o tamanho que as criptomoedas vão atingir.
Remember, and I really believe this, within the next few years, crypto will be the 12th sector of the economy.
O ouro está em alta agora, como você deve ter notado. E o ouro digital? Será que o Bitcoin é o próximo? O chefe global de ativos digitais da BlackRock, Rob Mitnick, revelou exatamente o que acredita sobre o que vem a seguir para o Bitcoin e as criptomoedas em 2025. Com o cenário macroeconômico atual. Quando a BlackRock fala, as pessoas prestam atenção. Então preste atenção.
As you know, there are a lot of different reasons that people buy and hold Bitcoin. But as you also know, it's frequently referred to as digital gold, right? A store of value. Here we are in a period of time where people are feeling nervous about the economy, and it's not performing like gold. Gold is performing like gold. People are buying gold, but they're not buying Bitcoin. Can you help explain what's going on there?
Yeah, I think it's a fascinating thing, Julie. What we've seen is, if you look at Bitcoin fundamentally on a long-term basis, it really seems like an asset that should be uncorrelated or even inversely correlated against certain risk factors that exist, right? But there are periods where it does have these short-term correlation spikes. And what's interesting is some of what we've seen lately seems to be self-fulfilling and actually a self-inflicted wound by some of the research and commentary that the industry does, leaning into this idea of it as a risk-on asset at times, which really doesn't make a lot of fundamental sense when you think about what it is. It's a global, scarce, non-sovereign, decentralized asset that exists outside of any one country's economic, political, or monetary system. And so that fundamentally, we think is what the long term is. That's why people think of it like digital gold. But you see this short-term trading correlation, and it can be a little bit self-fulfilling, at least in the short term, where before people would focus on, okay, well, higher rates, that's going to hurt Bitcoin the same way it hurts, equities. That makes some fundamental sense. But now it's been extrapolated to things that don't really make any sense at all. Tariffs, it's not clear that tariffs are any fundamental bad for Bitcoin. Economic fears. I mean, I don't know if we have a recession or not, but a recession would be a big catalyst for Bitcoin. And certainly the way the market seems to be commenting on it doesn't reflect that.
Well,
today.
unless if people have less money, they have less money to buy Bitcoin, right?
If
There's the wealth effect of people having less money in the market in stocks. They have less money to buy Bitcoin.
Sure, and that's part of it on a short-term basis, but ultimately why I make that comment is Bitcoin is long liquidity in the system, right? It's catalyzed by more fiscal spending and debt and deficit accumulation. That happens in a recession. It's catalyzed by lower interest rates and monetary stimulus. That tends to happen in a recession. And it's catalyzed to some extent over just fears of general social disorder, right? And that, too, unfortunately, is something that can come up in a recession. So the market has almost, it seems, gotten this in some ways, not particularly well calibrated, but that's where the opportunity comes in for education in a market and an asset class that's still very nascent, right? And so we've been doing a lot of that in terms of education around our clients, helping them see through some of these conflicting narratives that seem to be out there.
E claro, a BlackRock costuma se posicionar frequentemente agora sobre o quanto eles são otimistas com essa classe de ativos.
I was with a sovereign wealth fund during this week, and that was the conversation. Should we have a 2% allocation? Should we have a 5% allocation? If everybody adopted that conversation, but it would be 500,000, 600,000, 700,000 per Bitcoin.
Afinal, a BlackRock atua na venda de criptomoedas. Eles estão vendendo com força.
The reason for the call today, John, is something just came across my desk, John. It is perhaps the best thing I've seen in the last 6 months. If you have 60 seconds, I'd like to share the idea.
Porque a BlackRock entende o que a maioria do varejo não percebe. Não, estamos prestes a ver regulamentações cripto abrangentes aprovadas nos Estados Unidos. Claridade será concedida ao primeiro projeto de lei que está a meses de distância. A moeda estável, agora chamada de Genius Bill. Depois, um projeto de lei sobre a estrutura de mercado para criptomoedas. E depois, o terceiro, que não está necessariamente no nosso futuro imediato, mas pode estar no horizonte. Todos esperam o projeto de Cynthia Lummis sobre Bitcoin atingir o Senado, atingir a Casa e esperançosamente ser aprovado.
In a way that provides authority by statute for the U.S. government to take gold certificates, which we hold them at about a 1974 value, which was, I don't know, $46 an ounce or some such thing, and then bring them to market value and then use that to buy Bitcoin. If we did that, we could probably buy 200,000 Bitcoin every year for 5 years, hold them for 20 years, and not use a single new taxpayer dollar to do it. So, this is a very doable thing.
Estamos testemunhando uma ótima oportunidade de compra. Então me diga, o que você está comprando? Você está comprando Bitcoin com letras grandes ou pequenas? O que você está fazendo?